The sun was setting over the desert, casting a golden glow on the sand. A lone camel rider was making his way to the oasis, where he hoped to find water and shelter for the night. He had been traveling for days, following an ancient map that promised a hidden treasure buried in the ruins of a forgotten city. He had faced many dangers along the way: bandits, sandstorms, scorpions, and mirages. But he was determined to reach his destination and claim the reward for his courage and perseverance. He had sold everything he owned to buy the map from a mysterious merchant, who had warned him that the treasure was guarded by a powerful jinn. The rider was not afraid of the jinn. He believed that his faith and his luck would protect him from any harm. He had a silver amulet around his neck, a gift from his mother that he believed was a talisman of fortune. He also had a dagger tucked in his belt, a weapon of last resort. He finally arrived at the oasis, where he saw a small pool of water surrounded by palm trees. He dismounted from his camel and let it drink from the pool. He then filled his water skin and washed his face and hands. He looked around and saw a stone archway covered with vines leading to a dark tunnel. He knew that this was the entrance to the city of the jinn. He took a deep breath and walked towards the archway, holding his amulet and his dagger. He entered the tunnel and followed it until he reached a large chamber, lit by torches. In the center of the chamber, he saw a pedestal with a chest on top of it. The chest was made of gold and adorned with jewels. It was the treasure he had been looking for. He approached the chest and reached for the lid. He was about to open it when he heard a loud voice behind him. "Who dares to disturb my slumber?" the voice said. The rider turned around and saw a huge figure emerging from the shadows. It was the jinn, a creature of fire and smoke, with horns, wings, and claws. The jinn looked at the rider with anger and contempt. "I am the guardian of this treasure, and you are a foolish mortal who seeks to steal it from me. You have trespassed on my domain, and for that you must pay with your life." The rider was terrified, but he tried to hide his fear. He said to the jinn, "I mean you no harm, noble jinn. I have come here in search of adventure and knowledge, not greed. I have heard of your wisdom and your power, and I wish to learn from you. Please spare my life and let me go." The jinn laughed, a sound that echoed in the chamber. "You lie, mortal. You are here for the treasure and nothing else. You have no respect for me or my city. You are a thief and a liar, and you deserve to die." The jinn raised his hand and shot a blast of fire at the rider. The rider dodged the fire and ran towards the chest. He opened it and grabbed a handful of gold and jewels. He then threw them at the jinn, hoping to distract him. He then ran back to the tunnel, hoping to escape. The jinn was enraged by the rider's audacity. He chased after him, hurling fireballs and curses. The rider ran as fast as he could, but he knew he could not outrun the jinn. He reached the archway and saw his camel waiting for him. He jumped on the camel and urged it to run. The jinn followed him to the oasis, where he caught up with him. He grabbed the rider by the neck and lifted him off the camel. He said to him, "You have defied me, mortal, and you have stolen from me. You have sealed your fate. I will destroy you and your camel, and I will take back my treasure. You will never see the light of day again." The rider struggled in the jinn's grip, but he could not free himself. He felt the jinn's fire burning his skin. He looked at his amulet and his dagger and realized that they were useless against the jinn. He had no hope left. He closed his eyes and waited for the end. But then something unexpected happened. He heard a loud roar, followed by a blast of wind. He opened his eyes and saw a giant eagle swooping down from the sky. The eagle grabbed the jinn by the shoulders and lifted him off the ground. The jinn dropped the rider and the camel and tried to fight off the eagle. The eagle and the jinn flew away, locked in a fierce battle. The rider and the camel watched in awe as the eagle and the jinn disappeared into the horizon. They did not know who the eagle was or why it had saved them. They did not care. They were alive and they were free. They had escaped the city of the jinn. The rider looked at the chest, which had fallen to the ground. He saw that it was still full of gold and jewels. He had not taken much from it. He realized that the treasure was not worth the risk. He decided to leave it behind. He said to his camel, "Let us go, my friend. We have had enough adventure for one lifetime. Let us return to our home, where we belong." The camel nodded and they left the oasis. They rode away, leaving the chest and the city behind. They did not look back.